Sooner Sportsmods, live from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Here is Larry Carr, Steve Slater, and Richie White on Sooner Sportsmods.
All right, everybody, and welcome to this evening's version of Sooner Sportsmods. Tonight, we're going to have a great show with guest Brandon Carey, I believe. Right, boys? Kenny, that's right. Brendan Kenny. I'll let them guys introduce him and everything like that, but I'm the mad engineer here in the studio making everything turn on and work. Feel free to share the video. And also, those of you that are watching it on Facebook Live and are having an issue with buffering or sound or audio issues, there are several different ways that you can tune into the show. You can also, by clicking on the left side of your pane, on the Sooner Sports Mods page, there is a link that says Listen Live. There is a live audio player right there in that, and you can listen to us via audio from the online radio station. You can also download our apps via Google Play. Well, the Google Play is not there, but the link is on our website, dtracingnetwork.com. If you check our website out, there is a brand new Sooner Sports Mods page, and those links are available for Android TuneIn Radio. Also, you can get us at the Apple iTunes Store, WSPD Digital Broadcast, and you can also check us out on our Roku channel. Those links are located at dtracingnetwork.com, and we will share those links again a little later in the evening. Across the bottom of your scrolling thing, we're going to get a little serious for a moment. Across the scrolling thing, on the bottom of the screen, you guys are noticing that the show is dedicated to Sandy Casey this evening. Sandy Casey is a Vermont native, grew up in Dorset, Vermont. She was my next-door neighbor for many years. I grew up with her family, her cousins, her sisters. I went to school with all of them. So I felt the need for some sort of in memory to her. She was one of the 59 killed in Las Vegas, Nevada, when this massive shooting, just terrible tragedy, happened in Las Vegas over the weekend. And so I felt for the Casey family, we would dedicate tonight's show in memory of Sandy Casey. So, gentlemen, I'm going to let things kick off. I'm going to get onto the mad engineering of things and do some Facebook sharing and all that good stuff. But welcome, Steve Slater and Larry Carr, to the Sooner Sports Mods show. How you doing tonight, gentlemen?
Good. How are y'all doing?
I'm pretty good, Steve. How you doing today?
Oh, just, making a day of it. It's been a long day, but it's a day.
Right.
Back to that, talking about that deal about Vegas, I want to, where our hearts and prayers are with them, and I just hate for something to happen.
Right, absolutely. Terrible tragedy, and we want to be sure to take a moment for them.
How was your day today?
Oh, my day's been kind of up and down. I got in the shop and managed to get a ride everywhere I needed to go today, so life wasn't too awful.
Yeah. Well, you about ready for this weekend, Saturday night?
Yes, I am.
That's always makes everything better, right?
I'd have to hook this up to
the October 7th show. Of October 7th, it looks like they're going to have a pretty good show. We've got sprint cars and everything out there this weekend.
Yeah, that's going to be a big show up there. Always a good time up there at Enid Speedway. Everybody likes to go to Enid, and with the, I believe it's going to be the OCRS that's going to be there. And that ought to be a good addition to the show.
Yeah, I think it'll be good, and it'll make the track really nice too. Would probably be a really fast track. All the sprint cars out there. And this is one of the one. We got 3 more races left. So we got this weekend and 2 more after that. So, and the points are getting tightened up, and there's a little bit of battle in the top 3, and I think there's a little bit of battle towards the top 10 as well. So it'll be a lot of changes in between now and November 4th.
Right. Every race counts now, and I know there's going to be a lot of guys that are trying to finish as well as they can. I mean, not that they don't try to finish as well as they can every night, but especially when you're in that points hunt, you know, it gets a little more attractive to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping.
And you know the. Go ahead.
Good. I think we'll have a pretty good car count as well.
Yeah. I was going to say, you know, the age-old deal, the guy will tell you, well, I'm not running for points this year, and then as the year progresses and he does pretty well, all of a sudden, the guy that told you, I'm not running for points this year, is suddenly real interested in how close the points race is, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. Weeks, and want to know how the points system works and all that, and so they're just trying to figure out where they need to finish to get ahead, you know.
Right. We all know it's done with Ouija board and tarot cards, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I remember my
Ouija boards and trailer parks.
For the freestyle, I was trying to make the top 10, and there was my wife had it figured out exactly where I need to finish in the heats and where I need to finish in the features. And if I was not in that right position in the heat race, she came downstairs talking to me. We'll just say I got a pretty good chewing one night, and I started way back in the back and ended up third one night. So
there you
heat
go.
race wasn't going well. But told her I guess she had to chew me out every time I go. We got a really great guest on for tonight. Should be calling in a couple of minutes. Brandon Kenny. He just won a pretty good race last weekend, and won quite a few races actually.
Well, I was going to say he's won quite a few races and quite a few pretty good races from what I see on his resume.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
We'll let him brag about himself a little bit here in a minute.
Oh, no.
Yes,
drivers don't brag about themselves.
Never, huh, Richie?
Never. Come on.
Never.
Oh, and by the way, we are currently working on trying to get shirts at the racetrack. So,
oh, no.
So maybe.
Shirts in person, huh?
So maybe this weekend, maybe the next race. I don't know exactly when, but we are currently working on that. You know, Angie's got her new screening deal, so.
All right.
She's been pretty busy this week, so I'm not 100% sure she's going to be able to do that, but things might work out. But have that. I'll have some stickers people if they want stickers for their vehicles.
We know the secret words, though, Steve.
Huh?
We know the secret words. Cookies and duct tape.
Yes, we do. Cookies and duct tape.
Aren't happening fast enough for us.
Exactly.
So
all we gotta do is
begin with duct tape. What's the Sooner Series? Maybe she'll.
Hey, that's what I should do. I should go get some duct tape and a black magic marker. Angie, I hope you're listening because that's what I'm going to do. I don't have a Sooner Sportmods Series shirt, and so I'm going to go buy a black shirt this weekend, and I'm going to get some gray duct tape, and I'm going to put some stripes of gray duct tape on there, and I'm going to write with a magic marker, Sooner Sportmods Series can't afford shirts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I bet she'll be texting me here pretty quick. Oh. Brandon, I think he's on the line right now.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm
here. Good evening, Brandon.
How are you guys?
Oh, we're good.
How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Well, I appreciate you coming on the show.
Steve, since it was your idea, why don't you introduce your guest?
Well, you got me on the spot tonight.
Uh-huh.
Well, we got the Brandon Kenny. He's one, like I said, one of our pretty good wheelmans out there. So I asked him to come on tonight. He's actually helps build the chassis at Ramirez, and last week we had a chassis builder. I figured, hey, why not have 2 weeks in a row have a chassis builder / race car driver and tell their side of the story.
I believe you know last week's guest, don't you, Brandon?
Actually, I didn't get to listen to it last week. I'm not sure who it was.
It was Curtis Allen.
Oh yeah. I know him real well. We're pretty good buddies.
I figured you did. So tell us about Brandon Kenny. What's your history in motorsports?
Started out, my uncle Mike Roach got me into it. Him and my grandpa Claude. Started out helping them a little bit, and they got me interested in it, and I started hot lapping for Mike when I was 15, and then they got me my first car when I turned 16, and raced for Leon Ramirez locally at Enid for 4 or 5 years, and then ran a full year of USMTS in 2008 and was able to win Rookie of the Year. And then I retired for a few years, and Cole Trugett and I decided to start building Sportmods 3 years ago, and we've had pretty good success with that so far, and won quite a few big shows, so everything's going pretty good.
And that's Ramirez race cars, right? Or Ramirez race chassis?
Yes, Ramirez race cars.
So, Steve and I were just talking about some recent success that you've had. You won last year down at Texas Motor Speedway.
Yep. Yeah, that was a fun race to win. It didn't pay. Not the biggest paying race I've ever won, but competition-wise, that is probably the biggest race I've ever won. There's probably the toughest competition in the country at that race, so that was really cool to get that win.
That was a big race.
Yeah.
As far as the competition went, that was a huge race and a heck of a one to win.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you've had a lot more success since then. You won this past weekend.
Yeah, actually, this is the 3rd year in a row I've won the Darren Ernst Memorial, so I feel pretty lucky to have done that.
That's a pretty important race up there.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites, yep.
So what does 2017, the rest of 2017 hold for Brandon Kenny? Where are we going to see you? We see you a lot with the Sooner Sportmods series.
Yeah, I'll definitely be at Enid. I believe they got 3 races left. I'll be over there for the remaining races this year, but other than that, I'm not sure. I don't really plan ahead and schedule ahead with races. I just kind of, the next big race coming up is what I try to hit, but I'll for sure be at Enid.
Everybody likes going to Enid. We were just talking about that also.
Yeah, I definitely like going back there.
Why is that such a popular track? I mean, it seems like it's on everybody's list. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's one of my favorites because that's where I grew up racing. I've made a lot of laps around that place, and I've raced at a lot of racetracks, and it's still one of my favorites.
It's a fast track.
Yes, for sure. And I kind of like the bigger tracks, so that's probably one of the reasons why it's one of my favorites.
So what attracted you to the Sooner Sportmods series?
I'm sorry, you cut out. Say again.
What attracted you to the Sooner Sportmods series?
It's just I like running any series. I think any series in racing is is cool. I would have liked to have been able to follow the whole thing, but unfortunately it fell on top of some big races, and I always choose the big races over the point stuff. I've never really followed points systems, but if I'm going to, it's going to be a sooner deal, but it's just going to depend on how the big races fall.
Right. Well, Steve, you got anything for Brandon?
Excuse me. Oh yeah, Brandon. Next year we've been making some plans. We talked about going against the B-Mods over in Humboldt. What's your opinion on something like that?
That'd be really cool. I've been to that race the last 3 years in a row and had some pretty good success. That's another one of the biggest races in the country. Southern Sportmods against the B-Mods, Wissota B-Mods and USRA. There's a lot of good competition there. But I've been the top finishing Southern Sportmod twice in the last 3 years. So that is a race that's on my bucket list to win. Right now it's probably the race I want to win the most. So I think we can do it. That'd be pretty cool for the Sooner Series to be involved in it.
Yeah, that was kind of a good deal when I heard about when they called me about it, and we've been discussing here on and off quite a bit. Next year we're planning on having about 20 races, and I want to try not to plan so many on top of the bigger shows, but I like to make a couple big shows ourselves, and that's been kind of one of the things I've been working on. Super Bowl, we're going to be doing that track. I have actually never been to Super Bowl. I've never been to Humboldt, but I've always wanted to. So
I've never been to Super Bowl either.
Yeah, great opportunity to see these tracks and get to enjoy all the excitement.
Yeah, it's always fun to go race at different tracks. If it was up to me, I'd race at a different track every weekend, but it can't happen. There's too much traveling involved with that stuff. But
yeah, exactly. Yeah, actually, my son has probably traveled more racetracks than I ever have with his outlaw carts.
Yeah,
it's still fun. I enjoy seeing the other tracks and seeing how other tracks run places too, or how they run their shows and everything else. So you got any good or different ideas you want to do to your chassis after the winter time, or?
No, there going to be any big changes. I really haven't changed a whole lot in the 3 years we've been building, but aside from some setup stuff. But Cole keeps me on my toes at the shop with new stuff. His wheels are always turning about trying to make stuff faster. So we're always thinking and always trying for sure.
Yeah, I know y'all stay up on them quite a bit. And it's been real exciting watching you guys and watching you and Cole both. And I always, when I see you guys pull up, I always know there's going to be a pretty good battle up front. So it's always good to see that.
Yeah, I don't get to race with Cole very often, but it is fun to get to race with him.
Yeah, he's one of the probably one of the best around in my books. It seemed like everything you've thrown him in this year, he's done good in.
Yeah, for sure. He's got some exciting stuff coming up here in the next couple of weeks too. I probably can't say anything about it, but he's got another opportunity coming.
Yeah, we might have to tag him along on one of the shows one of these nights.
Yeah.
Somebody suggested we have him on tonight with you, and I don't know why we didn't follow up on that. That would have been a good idea.
Well, I was thinking about it, but I was so busy with the wife's surgery and all. So
yeah, I wasn't complaining. I just there's always the next time.
Right. So, how about Darren? Is he going to be running with us anytime again, or?
Yeah, he'll be running this weekend. Him and his boy race. All three of us will be there.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yep.
I've watched Darren for a long time, and he's always, as another guy, has always been a pretty good little shoe. And
yeah, definitely. Yep, and his he's always complaining about he doesn't have a a full 20 laps in him anymore. He can only make about 8 good ones, so that's why he claims he doesn't race very much anymore. But every time we go to Enid, he gets the itch again and decides to get in the car.
Yeah. It's hard for any racer to stand there and watch. I could say that myself.
Yeah.
Originally, I built that car of mine to go race in Enid, and I just this whole series deal was a pretty good opportunity that I wanted to try. I never promoted before, so I was like, hey, I want to try this out, and so I had to push the car aside and actually have somebody else run it, and it's making me happy seeing the car out there, but it's also making me happy to be out there doing my thing. So.
Mm-hmm.
So what? Are you going to run Texas again? Don't they have a race coming up this year?
I'm not sure what they're not doing the same one they did last year. I think they are allowing Sportmods with sprint cars on the NASCAR weekend again in April, but I think that's going to be the only sport mod race at Texas, but I'm not 100% for sure either.
Yeah, that's another racetrack that would look like it would be fun to race on. I went out there and watched a couple of times, and actually I went out there one year when Mickey Lassiter was out there racing, and it was cold. I do remember that, but it was really fun to watch, and it's a really nice facility. Just when I go up there, I was really amazed about how nice it was and how wide the track was.
Yeah, it is one of my favorite tracks. Also, it's a bigger track, not like you really see in Texas, but yeah, the facility's top notch.
Yeah. Hey, Richard,
Yes.
are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Did you have some questions about the cars last week that you wanted to ask?
Oh, probably. Got me on the spot now.
Yeah.
I'm over here, Matt engineering, making sure everything sounds good. No, I will. Well, I'd asked a couple of questions last week of and I can't remember his name now. With so much going on right now, but Curtis had said they built their cars out of the '81 Monte Carlo chassis. Is that what you do? Is that exactly how you do it too, Brendan? Or is do you?
Yeah, that's actually a rule for us. All the Southern Sport mods have to be built out of that.
Okay.
Just to fill you in, Brandon, he's actually in New York, so their modifieds are more of, I guess, a tube chassis.
Right.
Up there.
I've never seen one in person, but I know what you're talking about.
It's a TO Pro. We have a TO Pro chassis, a Bicknell chassis, and there's a couple others I've heard the guys talk about in the pits that slip my mind the names of them.
Yeah, we're on the mid-sized GM 81 year model, and then our modifieds down here on a 67 Chevelle.
Oh wow!
Right.
So the modifieds down there are just as long as the sport mods are.
They just have to use the front clip where we've got to use the full frame, but yes, they're just a front clip 67 Chevelle.
That must take us some time being down there to try to find that many front clips.
Yeah, the sport mod, the 81 Monte Carlos, they're still around. You can find them pretty easily, but the Chevelles, they've started making aftermarket front stubs for those, so they're just a phone call away now, but we still have to do some digging for the sport mod frames.
Yeah, not only the frames are getting pretty rare, it was, these when's the last time they made a small block Chevy? I mean, the regular. Mm-hmm. So that's something that's been crossing my mind for a while. Me and my dad owns a machine shop, and we've talked about this.
Blocks are getting harder to find.
They are getting harder to find, especially a standard bore.
Oh yeah.
I'm surprised that one of you chassis builders haven't designed a sport mod chassis that maybe like for instance, similar to what we have, the tube frame, building your own tube frame setup and introducing it to, whoever does all the rules and stuff down there, for when it comes to a time where nobody can find. I mean, up here we can't. It's so hard to find a G body. It is. It's crazy. And if you do find one, it's already built into a race car. Because we have most of the G bodies up here are all the what we call the street stock and the hobby stock and pure stocks, and they're I mean if they already have a Monte Carlo on the track, they've got 3 more of them for parts because they know they're going to run out of parts quickly.
Yeah, I would love to build a full tubular frame. We're probably a few years away from that yet, so that's probably why nobody's done it yet. I would say probably 5 to 10 years away from that, but I'll like to see that happen because the frames are kind of a pain. It would be a lot easier and more profitable deal if we could build a full tubular frame.
The only thing I will say about full tubular against the regular chassis, I guess, I don't know, it may be just me, but if you wreck one of them one of the frame, you can take it to a frame shop and almost pretty much fix it. But one of you maybe for a tubular frame might be more expensive because you got to either throw it away or put a new clip on. I don't know how that will work on that end.
Yeah, and there'd probably be less frame machine work involved and more just replace it.
Yeah.
But we still use the frame machine a lot. Mike Roach has got one in his body shop, and we keep him fairly busy.
I kept some frame machine guys busy myself. I'm not going to lie about that one. First night ever, actually the second night Longdale ever was open, I was told not to go high. It's a brand new track. Just keep it down low and just follow everybody. Well, like every racer, who wants to follow somebody, right?
Right.
And I come out on the outside on turn 2 and I never lifted, and about turn 3, it was all she wrote. So we put on the frame machine, and the right front tire was about 2 foot off the ground. Everything else was flat. So it was amazingly, I actually surprised that they fixed the car, and I think it actually made the car better in the long run.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that have that theory that a car is better after it's been bent, but I haven't proved it yet.
Yeah. I don't know. It wasn't really good on me. It kind of hurt. So, how many chassis have y'all built so far this year?
I just got total in the last 3 years. I've just got number 22 off the jig. Probably not quite where we'd like to be, but still doing pretty good, I think. And so far this year, I believe I've built 8. Not for sure. I don't count by the year. I've just been going number car to car.
Right.
How time consuming is a build?
It takes me about 3 days to build a frame, and then we powder coat it, and then it takes me another 2 days to put a body on it. And then if somebody's just buying a frame and body, if somebody's buying a roller, while I'm putting the body on it, Cole will be putting the suspension on it. So basically, after it's powder coated, we can have either roller or frame and body done in a couple days.
That's
not
pretty
bad
good.
turnaround. That's not bad turnaround.
On those days, we don't answer the phone either.
Usually it takes me about a week to build a body and about 2 cases of beer. So, so we're not in much of a hurry.
Yeah, if there's beer involved, it'd take me a little longer.
Does that frame look straight to you?
But that makes it more aerodynamic though when you start having the beer, right?
Right.
So, I just noticed that Mark Smith has got him on over the last weekend.
Yeah, he actually bought car number 1. That was my first car. I had quite a bit of success in that car, and he's had it for a while. He just now got a motor for it, and didn't quite finish. He had a rocker arm or something break, but he was pretty fast this weekend.
Yeah, I was planning on going up there, but I actually didn't make it, like I wanted to. But I was watching the lap times and everything off of my race pass. They have a little app. I was watching everybody, and I was really impressed how he was doing. He was doing pretty well, and then all of a sudden I noticed that something happened. So
yeah, for the first time in the car, I talked to him a little bit after. He was really happy with it and looking forward to next year. He's actually, I think, right now looking. I think they're going to get his boy in a sport mod also for next year.
Yeah, that's what I hear. It'll be good to watch them guys, and it's always good to have more sport mods around.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, do you guys down there use a lot of stagger? With the stagger plates and everything, and put the stagger on one side of the car?
Yeah, normally I run anywhere from a 1/2 inch to 2 inches in the rear, and same thing in the front.
Hang on, let me write that down.
I was going to say, all right, did everybody get that? Everybody get that?
I gave a pretty broad range there. I think that's just about all you can get with our tires.
It's really kind of hard
freebie one, huh?
He's running 12 pounds in the right rear, 13 in the front.
It's actually kind of hard to get some of that.
That's a little high.
Because most of the time, I don't know, you go buy a set of tires, they're like, this is what I want, and they're like, well, let's try it and pair it up and see what we got. So when you're just picking them out of stack.
Yep.
Tires can be tough.
How many laps can you get out of a set of tires on a sport mod?
Track.
Yeah, I can probably get 2 features out of
Ada.
Yeah, on a good slick track, probably get 2 features out of a right rear. Left rear, I'll get 3 or 4. Left front, probably last 6 or 7 races, and right front, probably 2 or 3.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that last race we had in Enid, man, it was really dry slick, and boy, people were eating some tires up. And I know, like at Meeker, when I ran at Meeker, I ran a whole season because, with the tacky track, man, I didn't really need it that much.
Right.
But at Enid, same set of tires, about one night, it was done. And yeah, I get a whole new set of tires. So. But yeah, I think just because the tires are so hard, they're not real soft, but they're hard enough. They kind of last a little longer than some of these softer tires. So I told Richie and them that you had a little secret sometimes that you do a little practicing during the week trying to get those things a little faster.
Yeah, we got a little bit of an advantage.
Little test track I hear about?
Yeah. Actually, Dustin Donnelly did all the dirt work for it, and Derek and myself and Roaches and everybody, we don't use it much during the race season, but in the off season we all get the itch and go out there and make some laps. But yeah, it definitely has helped us in off season, thinking about something and wanting to try to run out there and see if there's anything there. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was telling them, I said, there's not very many chassis companies around here that has that option. You could, they have that. That makes it a pretty good little advantage on everybody else.
Yeah, it does. The only thing bad about it, I got to round up about 5 or 6 guys to go out there and get the track worked in enough to where we can actually practice, because one guy can't go out and get a track going.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, you would have to have a pretty good back down, pretty good.
Yep.
So it's a pretty decent sized track, or?
I would probably when we built it, we measured off of Humboldt. So it's probably comparable to Elk City.
So Humboldt and Elk City need to look out, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about your sponsors.
Yeah. Darren Hacker and Kim Hacker with Mud Hog Services. They own my car and all my equipment. And I'd like to thank them for that. And then Leon Ramirez with Boom Test Well Service and Ramirez Race Cars. All them pretty much keep me going.
Yeah, they do. Well, I appreciate you being on the show tonight, and I can't wait to see you all this weekend.
Yep, thanks for having me. It should be a fun weekend.
Yeah, if you see any rain coming that way, please put a big tarp up there for us.
I haven't even looked at the weather yet, and I really don't want to. Yeah, I've heard bad things, but hopefully it stays dry.
I shouldn't say that word. I've been telling everybody that's a bad word.
I've told you to watch your. I told you to watch your mouth. This is a PG show.
I had a question. If you're not in a hurry, Brandon.
Nope, I got all the time.
Cool. When we had Johnny Rauschenberg on the show, he was talking about where he'd like to see, or where he thinks the future of sport mods need to go. As a matter of keeping the sport alive and as a matter of keeping people in the sport, it seemed to be his opinion that costs are what is killing the sport more than anything else. And he didn't come out like say that he'd like to see certain rules changed, but he pretty well said that, if we kept things at a certain level, that we could kind of control prices a little bit. Where would you like to see sport mod rules go?
I don't know. You've always got somebody pushing the limits, building new things, and potentially creating more money into the car. So I don't really think you can stop that. You've seen it throughout mods over the years, and I know sport mods right now are already at the price that modifieds were 15 years ago, and modifieds are just through the roof. I really don't think you can stop it, because that, compared to 5 years ago, the sport mods are probably out of control money-wise, for being a budget class.
Right.
But as competitive as it is, I don't see how you can keep the price from raising. It would be great, but it's just kind of how it is. But I'm probably going to keep following it, no matter which way it goes.
Right. I kind of agree with you too, because we were at Red Dirt this past weekend, and there was a guy with us who hadn't been to the racetrack in a long time, and the pure stocks come out, and he kind of giggled and said, "These are pure stocks," and I was like, "Yeah, this is where pure stock has gone." And it doesn't matter. The most budget class, when it starts out, gets pushed up and pushed up and pushed up, by the competition level, by the fact that people want to go faster. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And motors are probably everyone's biggest expense. And what starts out as a budget motor, people start, wherever our rules are at with it, people start building better parts that are still legal. So just keep getting higher and higher if you want to stay competitive, basically.
Right. Well, thanks again for being on. Is there anybody that you want to give a shout out to while you're on the air here? Probably got some family that you got to say thank you to.
Yeah, I got to thank my wife, Kara, and my son, Preston, for putting up with me for doing this stuff.
Yeah. They can put up with a lot of it, don't they?
Yes, for sure.
Well, I know we'll see you at Enid.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Good luck this week, and I'll see you.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
All right, Brandon Kinney with Ramirez Race Cars, and a member, I guess you would call him a member in good standing with the Sooner Sportmods Series. Where's Brandon at the points there, Steve?
You know what? I'm going to double check that, because I'm glad you brought that up.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm usually on the ball. I'm just not on it tonight.
I don't think any of us are.
Yeah, too much going on in everybody's head tonight, I guess.
Absolutely. Too much stuff going on in everybody's life right now.
He is 15th in points right now.
15th.
Uh-huh.
Could break into the top 10.
He's raced 2 races this year, and they're, it's from 15th to 10th, quite about 80 points. No, I take that back. Look, about 4 points. Pretty close to 40 points, so
it's really close. Yeah.
I think from like 10th to 20th, it was, if I remember right, it was real close. So, the 10 can change
right
from now to November 4th. I mean, 3 races left. You never know what can happen.
Absolutely. Well, we haven't mentioned our sponsors tonight. Would you like to do the duty?
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, we gotta thank David Stukins with his, with all his picture and stuff, and he's going to be out there again this weekend. And FB Designs, he does all of our designs that we have, and Knockout Graphics. She's been doing all
T-shirts,
banners, and stuff like that, and tape, and remember that tape on that shirt. So anyway, yeah, she's starting to do shirts this year. She just got the machine to do that, so now she can do the wraps and machine. So she's all the way around everything you need on that deal.
I swear to God, watch her find a way. Watch her find a way to print a strip of duct tape on there specifically for Larry.
Yeah. Well, with Dusty doing some of the designs and her doing the designs, and I guarantee you that will probably be, it could happen. And High Tech Axle, Gore Family Athletics, the Ellis family, Steve's Auto Machine. Of course, next year we got Smiley's Racing on board, and 41 Shocks will be on board as well. So we're looking forward to the next year. We'll have all we have now, and some couple of new sponsors. So I think next year is going to be a really exciting year. Like I said earlier, we're going to have about 20 races, and I've been on the phone almost every night and trying to get that taken care of. So I texted Angie a while ago and told them make sure they listen to the show because I was giving them a hard time, but I don't know if they heard me or not.
I'd have to go through and look and see what it tells me if they watched or not. I can't. It doesn't show on here. Right now it does say we've got a few people on here. Oh wow! What'd you do to that dog?
She's chasing squirrels.
Oh wow!
You mentioned
right?
You mentioned High Tech Tactical, Steve. Let's talk about the giveaway.
Yeah, October 22nd. We're giving that AR-15 away, and we'll be doing that live here on Facebook. We have just a couple of weeks away for that, and you can buy that through me on PayPal, or we'll have them at the racetrack as well. We'll have the raffle tickets at the racetrack. So there's several ways you can contact me, and you can either get it online or you can get it at the racetrack. But we also have our shirts online or at the track now that maybe, I'm not saying it will be this weekend, but I'm hoping this weekend. I would probably say that the next race probably won't push too much stuff on Angie. I know she's busy. She's got a couple cars getting ready for some races, and so you gotta take care of them people too.
Call her up Friday night and tell her if you don't have my T-shirts, I'm just going to have to buy a dozen white ones and put duct tape on them.
Duct tape.
Yeah. I could probably get all kinds of colors of Sharpies too.
Right.
Yeah. So I will have a little bit more this weekend. I can't thank Larry. I really appreciate you being on board with us mostly this year. And I got Aaron White. He's going to be helping me again with the tech, and Chris Smith is going to be helping me. He's done promoting for a long time, and there's I want to have on board. I want the series to be the best around, and I'm going to do everything I can to make it that way. So with Chris around helping, I believe having him on board with us helping me out a little bit, just to fine tune things, it'll help us. And being going towards the end of the year, he kind of tell me some things to do, and by the winter time I can fine tune some more, and by next year it'll be even better. That's my whole plan. With the 9-race season this year, I've already told people, please be patient with me. I've never done this before. I've been racing all my life, but I'm a racer for a racer. So I'm doing everything I can to make this thing good for everybody. And I want to make it good for racers. I want to make it good for the track promoters, and I want to make it good for the fans out there. And it goes back to track promoters. They can contact me on Facebook, or they can call me on my cell, 405-436-2088, and I actually have that posted on my Facebook page as well. If you want to have us come on board with you guys, we're more than happy. We'll fit you in the schedule somehow for next year, and we'll bring some pretty good quality drivers out there to put on a show for everybody.
Well, I think that the quality of the series speaks for itself. If anybody's been to the races that you had this year, they can see how good the series is doing. And I also think that it's a good mark of what a good job you're doing, how many tracks have been willing to come on for next year. 9 tracks for your first year, that doesn't sound like a lot when you say it, but going out and trying to get people to let you bring in a new series isn't an easy thing. I mean, these promoters are kind of hesitant because, they got to know that the package, if you will, that you're selling is a marketable package, something that people want to see, something that, will bring fans out to their track, so that, they're just not paying out money just to be paying out money. And I think you've done a great job of that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I had talk tracks at first, and they were a little hesitant with the whole thing, and kind of ignored me a little bit. And now that I think they see that I am here for it, and I'm not your fly by night guy. I'm here to stay. And this series, I actually had people come with, didn't really know my plan for next year, and they came up to me and goes, "Are we racing next year?" And I said, "Yes." They said, "As long as it's going to last." I said, "As long as y'all stick with me, this thing will last forever." That's my plan. I don't know how. I'm hoping to last for a very long time, and I want to continue working on making it where it will stay that way, because this is something that I've been dreaming to do for a long time. Just never really could figure out how to do it, and I just decided, let's just do it. And I I learn a lot. I'm still learning. I mean, this everyday life, you're going to learn something anyways. But I always take suggestions from people. I'll go up to these drivers. I'll say, "Hey, is there anything that you think I need to do to make things better?" I'll do it. And I would like to keep the rules where they're at. I might make a couple changes, but the changes I will do, it's not going to affect the cost of the car. It'll actually make the car cheaper, and they can still run everywhere else. I just think that's just I want to make this thing cost effective for the drivers, where they don't have to change a whole bunch of stuff to their car to go race my series, then go back to a normal Saturday race. That's just pointless to me.
Right.
I mean, being that I was a racer myself, I never could understand why would you make a whole bunch of changes to something just so you can have your own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this guy that races at one track and that track rains out that weekend and they want to go try out the series, they can go with us because we still have the same rules that they have.
Yep.
And that's some of the reasoning behind I don't want to make things too crazy.
Right.
You know, as a couple of people suggested, you know, hey, man, why don't you go to the different tires? I said, no. We have, you know, as far as my opinion, we have a really good tire. And the Hoosiers, I mean, how long as I've been around dirt racing, I couldn't pick a better tire. So, yeah, I would say let's stick with the same tires. Let's don't change anything because that's when things start getting messed up, and that's when people start walking up.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
I got to
And it
tell
ain't
you,
broke.
I got to jump in here and let you know it's been brought to my attention that FB Designs is watching as we speak, so I thought it'd be a good time now to bring up our duct tape T-shirts we're making for Saturday.
Yep. Yeah. Gonna have to bring out the duct tape and make up some T-shirts for Saturday.
Don't forget your Sharpie.
Getting let down by our design sponsors. We're horrible people.
I got to tell you,
Yeah.
I got to tell you, Dustin's watching, and last week, within 24 hours, Dustin and Angie was able to come up with an awesome logo for
the Apex.
For the Apex, the new Wednesday
All right.
night show. And what a superb logo to kick off the show. I was very, very grateful. And it's going to cost me about 4 dozen cookies, I think, because he made 2 of them instead of 1.
I think it's actually going to cost me 4 dozen cookies.
Well, yeah.
Speaking of new things for the shows and new stuff, you did a heck of a job with that opening. I like the new opening.
Thank you. I'm going to work on a new opening for the Apex and some other stuff here. I want to get some more information about each of the sponsors for you guys, so I can try to whip up a few commercials or whatnot, so we can play those, do a little commercial break halfway through the show, and pay our bills, so to speak. But yeah, the opening came out pretty good. I was kind of happy with it. Steve was real happy with it. So that's kind of what we were going for. Something simple and easy, and it ended up working out pretty well.
Yeah, just so everybody knows, that is the State of Oklahoma song. So that's something I'm want to bring up as well. You know, don't want to get political on the deal, but I would like to have our State of Oklahoma flag and our American flag. One of these nights where a couple of our drivers can hold those flags up and make a little couple pace laps, and that's something, you know, I'm proud to be American. I'm proud to be a guy from Oklahoma. So I want everybody to see that's where we are.
Trump
who we
voter.
are.
Trump voter.
I said I wasn't going to get political.
I couldn't help it. Sorry.
Yeah. Keep the politics over there.
I don't want nothing to do with
That's why-
politics in New York. Do you? I don't even want to go there. I don't even want to get on the subject. Oh, my God. Chelsea
Yeah.
Clinton's running for senator up here.
Yeah. So, yeah, when we go to the racetrack, that's what, you know, everything that's been going on the last few weeks, and with, you know, politics, and the thing happened over the weekend. We want to go up to the racetrack, and we want to forget about everything, and we all want to join together and enjoy our everyday. You know, that's the whole deal about the races. I want everybody to forget their normal life and kind of relax and enjoy a good show.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Rich, I really appreciate you doing the whole song and the opening like you did. That was exactly what I was looking for.
Well, I'm glad we come up with something neat. I've tried like hell to find a decent recording of "Gentlemen, Start Your Engines" or whatnot, and I just couldn't find the right one, and I stumbled onto this cartoon version, and I said, you know what, it's fitting, it works. So I was able to put that.
Speaking of cartoon, are you about ready to have your cartoon pictures up?
Almost. Did you get them done? Did you get them done or what?
I have not got them done yet. Just to fill everybody in, I wanted to make a show, a deal for our show, where everybody could see us as a host and have all of our pictures on there. But I didn't want a normal picture on there. I wanted to go to like you do at the fair and get a cartoon picture of us. So I just thought that'd be kind of funny. And
could you imagine Damien's caricature?
Somebody that actually does that this weekend. What were you saying?
I said, could you imagine Damien's caricature?
Yeah. I don't know. Mine would be pretty chunky. But yeah. They may run out of ink with mine. So, but anyway, you want to talk about this weekend any? You know, I know you're going to be pretty busy in the booth with everything else going on, Larry.
Yeah, I am. Friday night I'll be at Red Dirt Raceway. I'll either be up in the booth or down on the track or somewhere. Saturday I'll be over at Enid Speedway. And I just pulled that up here. Let me flip over here real quick and look at it again. They're going to have the OCRS is going to be there, mini stocks, pure stocks, the Sooner A-Mod series, and the Sooner Sportmods series. There'll be a band starting at 2:30. Play day on Friday. If you want to go up there and run the car around a little bit, make some practice laps, go up there Friday and check that out. And then Sunday, I'll be back out at Red Dirt Raceway. They're having a special show on Sunday, 4 o'clock p.m. So my weekend will be racing, racing, and racing.
Yeah, you know, that's something back to that deal this Sunday. They are putting on a special event for the fairgrounds, which, you know, it's for everybody around here already kind of knows the whole history about that. And, you know, they're doing a salute to the State Fair Speedway. I think that's pretty neat. I'm glad Cody did something like that. And they're going to have the vintage cars out there. And, yeah, I think actually the car show starts at 2. So I believe, and Hall App's 3:30 and racing starts at 4. And
right.
Don't worry about being too late because Cody puts on a show and he gets it done really quick.
Oh, yeah, he moves through a show now. And they got Tim Buckland and Sean Elliott announcing, which was the announcing duo at State Fair Speedway for a while.
Oh, yeah?
So, yeah.
Yeah, I've been over there this year twice with the Sooner series, and I tell you what, you know, I was doing everything I could do to keep up, making sure everything was ready for him. Because when he hollers for lineups, you better have him ready. Because I think they were lining the cars up as I was handing them to him.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to get everybody out of there. You know, that way they're not sitting around and waiting all night.
He believes in keeping the program short, moving it along, and getting people home in a decent hour.
Yeah.
Wish I did that.
Which is probably a good deal for you because you're going to be tired by Sunday night.
I wish.
I'll be looking for Monday for some rest.
I wish they did that up here. Our McDonald's weekend at Fonda, the Saturday night show never got out until 1:45 in the morning.
Yeah, I think our Enid show was about like that, wasn't it? The first night.
Yeah, I was going to say that's kind of a rule for big shows around here is they run really late. Cody's really been the exception to that this year. There have been a couple of nights they've been there a little late. You know, what's late for them, which is 11 o'clock's late for them because he tries to be done by 10:30. So, but yeah, that's kind of the rule around here too for big shows. Is you know they're going to run on, and a lot of that can't be helped. I mean, when you're, you know, when you've got 100, 115 cars, you know, 4 or 5 classes to run, it's going to take time, no matter whether you're prepared and got everybody all lined up and everything or not. It's just going to happen.
Yeah, and like I said, over Enid that first night, man, that was a little rough. He had a little light issues and all that. You know, I felt bad for the guys up there. I know they was trying, but they got all that straightened out, and it actually they got the show. They were speeding the show up a lot better now, and we was out there fairly decent time. I believe that last time we was out there, I can't remember.
Yeah, last time wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad.
I had a tech, so that kind of slowed it down a little bit, but it wasn't too bad on that deal. Going about talking about Enid, you know, there's one thing that's been really high important for everybody at Enid, and everybody knows about the Winter Nationals at Enid. That's something that's been going around for years, and they are going to put on a pretty good show that night. They're going to have, you know, the late models, the modifieds, the sport mods, pure stocks, mini stocks. They're bringing back the street stocks for that night. So the guys got them street stocks. They need to come on and bring them out as well. So that'll be a good night to, you know, go out there and watch some good racing, and got plenty of racing to be watching.
Yep.
Nice. Did you guys get to?
You never know what the weather's going to be like at the Winter Nationals. Speaking of which, this time of year, I tell my kids, bring a jacket. Bring a jacket.
Yep. If you come to the track,
they wear shorts, and they're freezing all night. So if you all plan on coming out this weekend, bring a jacket because it will be chilly out there.
Daddy, I'm cold. Daddy, I'm cold. Daddy, I'm cold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'll definitely it definitely gets cool out there. I don't know what it is about Enid, but you go any racetrack around here, but Enid has always been cold this time of year. Yeah, we had that one last race, November 4th, and that'll be our final points night.
Nice. We're actually we have one track up here going to go a little bit against the grain. Racing season here in New York is pretty much over. We have our Oswego Dirt Weeks happening as we speak. Time trials start tomorrow. We're going to be doing some stuff almost every night this week on the radio. Ed is Wheel People, and Ed Lamberton is going to call us live from the Oswego Speedway and give us some live updates of what our guys are doing out there. But we have the Ridge going to reopen in 2 weeks and run pretty much until it snows up here. So it's going to be kind of something neat to see them do something like that. It's going to because it's the only place that's going to be racing on the weekends for a few more, at least for a few more weeks in October, November.
So, just breaking news, by the way.
Oh, wow.
So I kept on saying November 4th, November 4th, November 4th. I just went to Enid's website and just noticed it's not November 4th. It is November 11th.
Oh.
So I did not know that, but now I know that. So yeah, breaking news. November 11th is the last show, so last points night. I will make sure I update that on the website, and I'll make sure that I'll post that several times so everybody's on the same board as far as that deal. And I believe that is around. Let's see, November. Okay, that is Veterans Day. Yeah, November 11th will be a Veterans Day race. So, can get any more patriotic than that, right? Salute,
absolutely.
Salute the flag, and watch some racing.
Absolutely. Wouldn't mind seeing a veteran schemed paint job or a Dustin White wrap on a sport mod out there. Just throw.
Oh yeah.
We'll just throw that out there.
So you know that Fallen Hero 50 race, and you did make a 911 car as a wrap that was dedicated to that race.
Oh, cool.
And it had all the fallen heroes. So that had some sheriff department people on there, had some police officers on there, and that was a really cool car. It was an American flag car, and it was a really cool car. It was actually on TV and everything else.
Dustin's on the comments swearing. He says it's going to rain.
That's not even nice.
No, it's not. What a guy!
I've been telling him how bad a language that is.
We gotta have this conversation.
Yeah, that's.
Before we end the night, guys, did you guys get a chance to tune in a little bit last Wednesday night for the opening of the Apex?
Yeah, I got to listen to it for a little bit.
Quite a bit of twisting news to hear the 23 car and 29 car become one, and taking it out to Oswego. It's the complete 23 chassis with the 29 body on it. Rick Duzlak going to race the 23 car for the remainder of this season and into some of next season, at least up until June, from what I gather. But it's really nice to see some of these pro stock teams up here kind of join forces and build a couple of cars to keep everything going out on the track.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting because I think I remember you did saying, are you keeping the same number and all that? I guess he's going to be the normal car is 23, and he's going to 29. Is that?
It's number 29 now. They're using all of Rick's body. They shared a picture of it there this morning. They had just arrived at Oswego. They got all their camp set up, and they rolled the car off the trailer and gave us a look-see of the 23 car with the 29 body on the outside of it.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting. So, best of luck for them guys.
Absolutely. Good luck to Rick this weekend over there at Oswego, and also tomorrow night another edition of the Apex. I'm going to send out some messages tonight. We're supposed to have, as we spoke to him last weekend in the pits, and as far as I know, it's a go. We're going to run with brothers Chase Ossaker, street stock driver. He's won 3 back-to-back street stock races at the Ridge. And his brother, 00 Josh Coonrad, a pro stock driver this year, 2 track champions in his street stock car last season at Fonda and Albany, Saratoga. And this year decided to make the move and went up to the pro stocks. So we're going to have them 2 brothers on tomorrow night from the Ridge, and talking about Chase coming up into the street stocks and being able to pull out a few wins. And so far, the number 26 car is running fairly nice up there at the Ridge. He's definitely got that track figured out. He hasn't lost a race up there yet.
Yeah, that's be good to watch. We were talking about the points earlier on the series. From 3rd to 6th, there's about 44 points difference.
Oh,
So
that's pretty close.
that's real close. Then in about, I'll say about 70 points between seventh to go from third to seventh. So
It could turn into anybody's weekend.
yeah, I mean, from really honestly, first place, second place, 98 points behind, 197 behind on third, from first to third. And then from third all the way up to probably about 15th place. It could be anybody. It could change. So that I always kind of like this time of year where it seems like everybody tightens up and like Larry said earlier, they wasn't running for points, and at the end of the year, they're like, oh, look where we're at. And then all of a sudden they start buckling down and really get serious, and that's when you start seeing some really good races. I mean, not saying they're not really good anyways, but they really get real competitive towards the end of the year. Before we get off here, I want to mention our sponsors again. David Stugans Photography, FB Designs, Knockout Graphics, High Tech Tackle, Gorfam Athletics, the Ellis Family, Steve's Auto Machine, Smiley's Racing for next year, and 41 Shots for next year. So I can't thank these guys, everything they've been doing, and can't wait for next year's.
Did you mention Smiley's?
Smiley's Racing for next year, yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure you got a chance to throw them on there.
Yeah, and everybody around here knows Smiley's, but if you don't know Smiley's, if you're not around here, they're one of the biggest racing industries as far as your parts and everything around here. They got everything you need. If they don't have it, they'll get it to you. So, and there's a couple of locations. There's one over here in the city, and I know there's one in Mesquite, Texas, and I'm trying to remember where the other couple are. So around this area, you can get your parts wherever you need it. So,
Also,
I just want to let everybody know that I am. Well, I say I am. My wife is working on the banquet. She kicked me off of it.
oh wow!
Yeah, I started saying this is the way I want to do it, and she goes, no. So I said, okay. So this is how she's going to do it.
Well, hey, will that work if you say that about mowing the lawn? Walk into the kitchen. This is how I want to do it.
No, I don't think it goes that way.
Oh, darn.
Yeah. No, other than I will say that she's done a lot of banquets and stuff like that in the past, and some big conferences, and she knows what she's doing. I'm not going to argue with her. She's got a heck of a lot better education than I got. So I mean, that's what she went. She's been to school for that, so she knows what she's doing. I'm not going to argue with her, and that just makes it where I can get on the phone with these new sponsors and get on the phone with these new tracks that I want to get with.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, that's it. But just keep in. I just want to let everybody know that we are looking forward to having a nice banquet for everybody, and we're going to make it. We're going to have some good times. So, Richie, now you need to get some plane tickets coming this way.
I know. I got to get me some plane tickets. Come down there and show you got to run thing.
Oh yeah, show you how to drink. Like that.
Right. I just made up some homemade apple pie moonshine up here the other night. I don't know if y'all was watching my Facebook, but I got a little sauce.
Well, I will say one thing. You got to watch them guys at Northwest Oklahoma. Them boys know how to drink. There's no kidding about that. I went
to deliver them
to
cookies.
the races, and we were thinking about moving over in that area. We ended up not, but they said, "Hey, let's go to the bar tonight." And long story short, my wife and I were pretty tipsy, and we almost ended up at Moose Lodge to go get us a hotel room.
I don't got to fly down there, Dustin, to deliver cookies, because we've already discussed this, that Steve is taking you out for porterhouse and lobster.
Yeah, that's it. He's trying to get me to go to Clicks over here in Ponca.
Oh, he wants his prime rib?
Yeah.
Take him to McDonald's. That's in our budget.
You know, it was funny story about that. We were sitting there teasing about the steak deal. The next day, after the show, I got my grill out and took a picture of me cooking steaks and sent a picture to him and Angie.
Oh, wow. that fired him right up.
But anyways, like I said earlier, we are making a schedule change, and I should have caught that earlier. I did not realize that, but November 11th will be our last day. So October 7th, which is this weekend, October 21st, and November 11th. And I will change the schedule on the My Race Pass page, where you can get all the rules, updates, and everything off of that. And for your quick updates, I always try to post it on the Facebook page. So I always try to stay on top of that. So, and like I said earlier, if you're any of the tracks out there listening that want to have a race next year, you can contact me through Facebook or through my cell phone. And I also think I have my email address on there as well. So anything you would like, we'll think of it. Like we already talked about having the B mods versus Sportmods. If you guys have a B mod track and you want to do that, we can do that.
Sounds great.
Everybody likes to go fast. That's all we want to do.
Drive fast and turn left.
Yep. A bunch of crazy people are doing the same thing.
I just want to throw out there too, anyone wanting DVDs from any of the races at Enid Speedway, make sure you get with Pete Laughlin and Okie Dirt Video. He'll hook you up with. He'll also be there this Saturday, filming this Saturday's race, I'm sure.
Yes, he's actually filmed, I say 90% of my races this year, and he'll probably end up filming all the races next year. So
maybe we'll have to add up some good video next Tuesday night from Pete and share everybody with a little bit of how the race went.
Yeah, most definitely. I think we're going to work on some infield stuff as far as video, and you know, you've been talking about your TV show coming up, and I want to let everybody know that if you are a sport mod driver and would like to be on the TV series, Richie and I have talked about it. We'd like to have our own, series show. This is basically what you're doing. Is that what we've talked about before?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. So, what we're gonna do is I still gotta. I'm kind of waiting for the off season, so some more nights open up for me. But I got to get with Dave Stukins and also with Pete and a couple other guys down that way that can get me the video and stuff. And I know David said he can do a lot of the infield stuff for me and whatnot. And of course the drivers themselves, if they do GoPro video or action cam video from inside the car. And we're going to get some interviews and get some stuff together, some live video of them, right there in the pits and stuff like that. We'll put it all together and create a show, and kind of hoping next season to this season we're starting out with our first show, Grassroots, the heart of dirt track racing. Next season I've got, I think, 30 drivers that have decided to come on board with the show. So we're gonna have our hands full next summer, definitely. especially if I get the 4-cylinder car up and running, because it's going to be tough filming and racing at the same time. But we're gonna try to get everybody's videos and everything all collaborated together and produce a nice documentary television series. And next season we're going to do the same with Grassroots, but we also want to open it up to the Sooner Sportsmods series and get their own TV show going. But we're also working with the Fonda Speedway. And I think I want to do more than just Fonda, but I think we'll start there for a good base. But we're working with the Fonda Speedway Memories Facebook pages. They're sponsoring us, and thanks to them for helping us get the audio and stuff in here working good. But they're going to come on board, and we're going to do sort of like a history show, cover some of the history of Fonda Speedway. And I think I want to be able to eventually reach out to some people that have the history of the tracks, each individual track. If there's some, connoisseurs down that way that have like Enid or Red Dirt Raceway, some of the, the past and, the early days of racing in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and so on and so forth, can bring some stuff like that up and get some videos, some pictures, and some interviews, and just basically, some guys telling some good stories of some of the history of dirt track racing, and some of the people that are really, they're basically the heroes of dirt track racing, the guys that got it all started in that era, and just kind of tell stories about them and stuff. See if we can't find some video or some pictures and this and that, and some newspaper clippings, whatnot, to share, and kind of collaborate all that into a documentary series all in itself, all separate. So we're definitely working on some things. I'm hoping that within the next couple of weeks, Will People with Ed Lamberton, they go on a winter break coming up soon, so my Monday nights are going to open up, and I think that's what night I want to use to I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff for the Sooner series show and for the Apex, and planning those shows out so we can get some good winter stuff going on. I'm working with some guys that are actually going to Australia with their slingshots, so we're going to try to get them on the Apex at least, and possibly some of the other shows. And kind of collaborate everything together, try to throw something up so we continue dirt track racing throughout the winter. But when my Monday nights open up, I got to sit down and start producing the shows. I got to find all the video and all my stuff and all the interviews and whatnot. And I did so much filming and everything, and just find the right videos that I want to use. And I still have to call a couple of people that are part of the videos and get a little bit more audio from them that I can overlay on some of the video and such. So I got a lot of work to get things going, but I'm hoping by the end of October we launch the series and get it up on YouTube and Roku, so people can check it out there. And also once we launch them and put them up on Roku and put them on YouTube, we'll also upload them to our Facebook pages as well, so people can see the TV series, develop and get some things started off. And hopefully it will bring some sponsors on board that will help us purchase a little bit better cameras next year. I'm looking at, I'd like to get 4 halfway decent action cams for different things. I plan on having at least one on as a body cam, so I can basically video everything that's going on around me 360 degrees. And I'd like to get my own camera. This year we went basically off my cell phone and a loaner. And got to thank so much Joe Constantine, one of my neighbors, for lending me his very, very expensive camera and be able to take it to the pits and the dirt tracks and get it all dirty and dusty. For lending me the camera to get the video and get the stuff I needed for at least a start of what we want to build for the future of Dirt Track Racing Network. I put you guys to sleep?
No. I was actually thinking about all the other stuff that you talking about the history of your stuff over there, and that's something I've been wanting to do. I've been wanting to do myself, is talk about some of the history of Oklahoma racing. Wish I could get my dad on to do that, because man, he's got some stories that they're pretty good, and he's watched races from Taft Stadium to where we are now. So he's got to see some good racing and know a lot of history. And now I know a few other guys that I known for a long time, some of my dad's friends, that would be really good to give you some good history of our racing around here. And I like to have Shane Carson on as well. And Larry just texted me and asked about our Winter National show. Maybe we can get Mark and Kip on. Well, guess what, Larry? Still there? Maybe you did put him to sleep.
I think he nodded right off.
Sorry, I muted the phone. I was doing something.
Oh. I figured you were...
doing something.
I thought you were taking a nap.
Yeah, I was taking a nap.
Well, next week we'll have a regular show, probably talk to one of the drivers or something next week. But in 2 weeks, we'll have Kip and Mark, the promoters at Enid Speedway, will be on and talk about the Winter Nationals.
Oh, wow.
So I just confirmed that.
It's great the way that this works. This is like the second or third time that Steve and I have in the background said, hey, let's have this person as a guest. And just as I'm texting it to Steve, Steve's texting me going, hey, let's have this person as a guest. And we're both saying the same person, and it's just phenomenal the way this worked out, because like I said, I just got you texting him and said, right before Winter Nationals would be a great time. I can get Kip and Mark on. And he was like, well, guess what? Let's just have Kip and Mark on now.
Yeah.
So.
And also like to, in the next coming weeks, also get some more of your sponsors on. Had a great show last week with Dustin and Angela, and I think it'd be great get some of the others on.
Funny you mention that. Guess who just texted me about coming on the show?
Who's that?
David Stugans said he would like to be on the show.
Oh, David Stugans.
Oh, I'd love to have David on. I would love to have David on.
He used to do radio, by the way.
Oh, so he... Oh, absolutely.
Oh, you got competition coming on.
Sooner Sports Mods in next coming weeks, hosted by David Stukins.
David Stukins.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, maybe that might be the guy.
I'll tell you, a colorful guest would be Eddie Sweeney.
Yeah, I actually want to get him on as well and talk about, our upcoming raffle tickets. I would love to have him on. I've actually, here we go thinking again.
Eddie's a funny guy.
He's a real funny guy, and, I was actually been thinking all week for the last 2 weeks, I've been wanting to put him on to talk about a raffle, and we might do that. We might do that next week or so, or we can talk about that. So yeah, we'll have full schedule next week.
Tentatively, we'll have let's say if it's somebody different, we'll have the winner for Enid Speedway on, and assuming it's not a guest that we've already had on, and David Stukins if we can arrange that, and Eddie Sweeney if we can arrange that.
Yeah, and maybe we'll have our heads on right next time, right?
Yeah.
Well, we will definitely try.
Yeah. So.
Well, I'm glad everything worked out today for your wife.
Yeah, I appreciate it. She's doing really well. With her thyroids and everything that she had, is wrapped around her windpipe and stuff. So she woke up earlier today. She says, "Wow, I can breathe better." So I think things are going to look good for her.
Good.
That's
good
good.
to hear, definitely.
You're always getting nervous when you have penis surgery. I don't care what it is.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
David just texted me and confirmed about next week.
Excellent. Well, I want to give a shout out to my mom. She's probably not actually listening, but she went in today and had a portacath put in. She's going through chemotherapy for cancer, and we're dealing with that, and the family's dealing with that right now. So I want to give a shout out to her. She's doing really well. Her first chemo was about a week ago, and that went real successfully. She's done real well with it, and just wanted to, I'd ask everybody to kind of keep her in your prayers if you don't mind.
Most definitely.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that's about the end of the evening. Going to close things out. Once again, our show tonight was dedicated to Sandy Casey, a dear friend of mine that I grew up with, childhood friend in grade school and such. Lost her life this weekend in the Las Vegas shootings, and just sending prayers and thoughts out to her family. It's going to be a rough road, but hopefully you guys can all, as a family, get through the hardest of times. And the last thing any of us would want to see is a tragic thing like this. But there's pretty much not really as many words that can be said. But definitely rest in peace, Sandy. And it was good to know you while we were children. Thank you very much, everybody. This has been a Dirt Track Racing Network production for Sooner Sports Mods in Oklahoma, and we will see you next Tuesday night right here again on the Sooner Sports Mods page. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night for The Apex with Chase Ossaker and Josh Conrad. Hopefully I can confirm them and get them on. I know they're getting ready for Oswego. I believe there's some pro stocks racing out that way somewhere for Dirt Weeks. So I'm pretty sure they're out there getting things ready for all of that. So hopefully we can get 10 or 15 minutes. They're going to call live from the pits and give us a little bit of stuff on the Apex tomorrow night with me. And last week we were able to get Chuck Towsley and Rick Duzlak, as well as Bill Yeager, one of the cars we sponsor here at the station. And once again, if you're having trouble hearing us on the audio with Facebook Live, I know sometimes the buffering annoys us. Don't forget to log on to our website, dtраcingnetwork.com, where you can download all of our apps. All the information is on there. Where to get our apps for Apple, for TuneIn Radio, as well as there's a link there where you can download our Android app as well. And we will see you all tomorrow night here on the Apex, and see you next week on Sooner Sports Mods.
Good night, everyone, and good luck to all the racers this weekend.